Hi everyone. I was just in the midst of doing a little project here and then I thought, well, maybe I'll turn on the camera. Just just not to teach anything, but just to kind of show something that I'm doing. That's kind of what I do. I don't teach, I just show. And I'm doing some buttons today. I love buttons, and I love to put buttons in most any of my fabric art projects. Buttons are amazing. And so, and I had an opportunity recently to buy like a lot of buttons, and I did. I bought them, and yeah, I bought them, and I'm using them. And so I've used some, I've glued some onto an art project that I'm working on, and now I'm stitching some on. As I look at this around me, I think, oh gosh, maybe I should tidy up before I do a video, but it's just not my style. Just not my style. So um, you just have to know I live in a nest. This is my nest. And I have to make sure my nest is comfortable. And if my nest is all neat and tidy, it's not comfortable for me. So I'm going to put you down here so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully I don't have too many things in the way. And so I'll just turn the camera down. And right here is what I'm doing. If you can see this, it's a square piece. This piece was actually a pillow cover at one time. And so a lot of times if you go to the thrift shops and stuff and you see some pillows and you think, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous, but you don't need a couch pillow or a throw pillow, you look at it and you say, what can I do with this? Well, I like to make wall hangings of different things. This right here, the center part of it, it was made by my friend Carmen. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Carmen. And she sent this to me after she made this center part. In it, it says, in our joyfulness, we heal ourselves and others. And I love that phrase. I love it. In our joyfulness, we each heal ourselves and others. And this is very true, because when you're joyful, when you're laughing, when you're happy, it just does something to your everything. I don't know if it's maybe your vagus nerve or whatever, but it puts you in to a happy mode. And the thing is, when you're joyful, you make yourself healthier, and here she wrote, and others, because it is absolutely contagious. Let me see if I can get that to where you can see it. I got the light glaring. There you can kind of see how it's printed in all the beautiful colors. Okay, so I put this piece, it was in an irregular shape, this piece in the center, and so I just stitched that on all the way around, and then I took my fabric crumbs and I went all the way around with fabric crumbs to give this center part a frame. Here is a piece right here that is kind of plain, and I have, let me get my box down here. Oh boy, standing up is these hips, I'm telling you. When you was a hippie, when you was young, well, I wasn't a hippie. It shows up when you get old. Oh Lord. Okay, now if I had to stand up to get this box, because I have a few fabric flowers in here in this box, and I want to see. Oh God, I love this one. I love this one. Let me see, I love them all. Do I love this one more than it? See, because I'm going to put a flower right here. I might even layer 2 flowers. And if you notice, I don't really look for much of anything that is like all matching. I just look for something. And how pretty that one is. That one's kind of big. That one's kind of big. I don't think I'll do that one on here. This one's kind of big too, but I sure do love the colors. You know, I might use that yellow one because it's kind of a fall. And then maybe I'll put, this is pretty, stripes. See that? Does it match? Yes, it does, perfectly. That's what's going to be there. So now I've chosen, and I don't really worry too much. Yes, Papa.
How's your coffee supply?
It's empty. Somebody drank it. Thank you, Papa. You are so kind.
I'll get you some more.
Okay, thank you. And so I don't do a lot when it comes to choosing my colors or shapes or anything. I just kind of pick out what feels good to me at the moment. So I have got a lot of vintage buttons. In fact, I had just found in my stuff this beautiful, I call it beautiful. This is a beautiful box. It's a cigar box. But look how pretty that is. I'm going to fill it with buttons and put it on Etsy. I might even have, because I got enough buttons to fill this box. And it held 25 cigars at one time, but it will hold a lot more than that in buttons. Look, it's got the pretty thing on the front and pretty hinges on the back, and it's just so shiny. So I might do that today, is get that listed. Anyway, but I have, and there'll be vintage buttons. That's what I have here is vintage buttons. So I've got my vintage buttons, and then I just took, I've got a needle in the haystack. I've got just my needle here with some thread on it. Well, actually, it's friendship thread is what I'm using. And I'm just going, after I have already put all these fabric pieces around in just my scrunch-a-bunch fashion, well then, right down the center, I said, I want to put buttons. And so, and some of these, they're all vintage, and like I just love the vintage buttons. They're just old. I just love old things. I think because I'm old myself, maybe. But, and so then I just want to go around with all these buttons. And so I will just stitch them on as I go. And I put 2 stitches on each one, and then I don't cut the thread behind. I just keep going. I just keep going from one to the next. You know what I was thinking? Now see, I don't know, my crafting guides. I've been studying about angels and guides, and my crafting guides just told me I should put a heart here. You know what I really like is the button hearts. You know, you cut a button, cut a heart shape out of a fabric, and just cut it, just rough cut it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy schmancy. And just cover that entire heart up, or whatever shape. Thank you, Papa. You are so kind. I wouldn't trade you for a solid good gold doorknob.
You good there now?
Thank you. And so, but yes, I see there how I'm just going in a row with these buttons. Just just keep put one after the other, and it goes quite quickly because I don't tie off each button, but I make sure that I give each button 2 stitches. So each button will get 2 stitches, and that way if one comes loose, all of them won't come loose. They'll just, which I don't see one even coming loose. I think that they'll be fine. And then I'm not I got a little wash tub here with buttons in it, and then I've got some more buttons in this little bag. And so, and then once I get all of these picked out, because some of them, the holes are a little bit too small for the needle that I'm using. So, so some of them I can't use, like here, I put this one off to the side because that one, the holes were a little bit too small for the needle that I'm using. And because to be able to use the what do you call it? This floss, I need to have a little bit bigger of a eye, to get. I could use just regular thread, but I'm using. Hi, Papa. Now Papa brought me some cold drink. I have hot drink, now I got cold drink. So he keeps me supplied, very supplied in my drinks. So anyway, now what was I doing? Okay, here we go. Papa and I went on Wednesday. He had an appointment with the orthopedic doctor because Papa has got a bad knee. Actually, he's got two bad knees, but one of them is really bad. And so, and he's already been through all of the cortisone shots and then there's another series of shots that he went through that you get one a week for 5 weeks. Nothing is helping. He said anti-inflammatories. He has done everything for this knee, and his knee looks like a football in with two broomsticks sticking out each end. That's how his knee is so huge from the arthritis. And so they did the x-rays on his knee, and they did the x-rays, and they showed us the x-rays, and he's got so much arthritis in that knee, plus he's got bone fragments. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? Because I got it facing toward me. But he's got bone fragments just floating like in water in there. So he's definitely going to have a new knee. So he's going to get him a brand new knee. So he'll have that new knee probably by Thanksgiving. I don't know. We've got an appointment on the 27th to go back and actually talk to the surgeon. And then we'll get more information at that time. But just a minute, I gotta get a slurp of my coffee. That's good. Thank you, Papa. Put my going down here. Okay, so, but here's a little, Papa isn't a smoker. He doesn't smoke cigarettes, but he does chew tobacco. He's a tobacco chewer because he is a country boy. So he's a tobacco chewer. But one thing the doctor explained to us was if he is using any kind of nicotine while, at the time, the surgeon will not do the surgery. Because nicotine in your system will hinder the healing. So, he's got this decision to make. Do I want to hurt like this for the rest of my life? Or do I want to have the satisfaction of having nicotine in my system? Well, the answer came when he threw his package of a Red Man or whatever that stuff's called in the trash. Now I'm telling you, that stuff's not cheap, and it was a new package. It's like $12 for a pouch. I'm telling you, that stuff's not cheap. And so, anyway, he threw it away yesterday. Well, yesterday. Went to the doctor on Wednesday. He threw it away Wednesday night. And then the trash man came, picked up all the trash, and so that took, so it's really gone. And so yesterday was his first day nicotine free. Um, but now you all might want to go buy stock into the Wrigley's chewing gum because he's using the chewing gum to have something in his mouth that he can chew on because that man is in a lot of pain with this knee. And if you've ever known anybody that has had to have a knee replacement, usually you don't want to go in there and get chopped on without good reason, and he's got definitely good reason. So, so the 27th is when we go, and he'll be nicotine free at least 2 weeks by then. So hopefully all the nicotine will be out of his system, and then we're going to find out then when they will schedule the actual surgery. But it's amazing. He said it's like a 1 day thing. He may get there in the morning and have the surgery done and be home to sleep in his own bed that night. And so, and he was saying how back in the day you had a knee replacement, you were in the hospital for 3 or 4 days or longer, and you were put onto a machine that actually bent your knee and kept rotating it or something. And then they get you up walking, and then you have to go to rehab for like 6 weeks before you can come home. So it was really back in the day, it was really a process, and now you can have it done and back home that same day. So I'm happy for him that he's going to be out of this pain, because when you see somebody you love and they're in great pain and there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do. You can feel that pain yourself. So I'm so happy he's going to have this done. So so yeah. So we sew buttons. So whenever I go up with him to the hospital, I'll be taking I'll be taking some slow stitching with me, or I'll have my bag. I'll have my goodie bag with things in it that will keep me busy while I wait for them to be chopping him up and fixing him. But we're excited. And see, when you think about some people I have heard, oh my gosh, I have to have surgery. Oh, this is so sad. I'm so depressed because I have to have a surgery. But if you look at this knee replacement, you think about it. One thing I'm going to definitely ask the surgeon when we talk to him is what kind of anesthetic, if it's local or whatever. I hope they don't have to put him completely under, because he's kind of weird when he comes out from being under. Because they had to put him, they had to put him under whenever he had a colonoscopy a couple of years ago. He was hungry when he got done with that procedure. He was hungry, and so my daughter had drove us up there, and so she was bringing us on home. And well, the doctors at that time, they said, now do not eat for like an hour, not till like an hour after you get home before you eat. Well, he was hungry on the way home, and he told my daughter, he says, stop there at McDonald's and we'll get me something to eat. And we said, no. Doc said, no, we're going to wait till we get home, and then I'm going to fix you something to eat. And he said, no, I'm getting out, and when we get by the McDonald's, I'm going to get out. And we said, no, you ain't getting out. And we got near McDonald's, and he unfastened his seatbelt and grabbed hold of that doorknob. Well, good thing that my daughter was able to kind of put the child safety lock on, so we couldn't open the doorknob. But he was going to jump out of the moving truck to go get him hamburger from McDonald's, because he's starving. And so that's why I don't want. But even if they have to put him all the way under, he'd probably be there long enough for it to completely wear off, not like the colonoscopy was. So.
Quit spreading them lies about me all over the internet.
They ain't lies. You know they ain't lies, honey bunny. You know they ain't lies. And so anyhow, so yeah, he's gonna get that done. And wait a minute, I got off track somewhere. I don't know where I got off track, but I don't know where my track was going before I got off track. But anyhow, yeah, that's the update on Papa. He's gonna go get him a brand new, spanking new knee, and he's healthy otherwise. He doesn't take well. He takes some medication for his cholesterol, I think, and then he has a medication for his memory. And but that's it. He doesn't have medicine. He doesn't take medicine. And then he takes his vitamins and stuff, and that's about it. So he's very, very healthy for being 76 years old. So there should be. I'm a little bit more than halfway done here. I won't keep you real long just watching me um, putting buttons. I love these buttons though. When you look at a button, just a button. And these are old vintage buttons. This one's cracked. It is a cracked button. But then you wonder who all had these buttons. I remember my grandmother's button collection because when Grandpa's shirt would wear out, she would just cut it apart. She would cut the fabrics up into rags because she used some for just rags, cleaning rags. All buttons went in her button can, and she also made rag rugs. And so, and that was after Grandpa's, or whoever, might have been one of my uncle's shirts or something. And it's amazing. And then so you look at these buttons now. See that this one's not quite as old as some of these others, but then you just wonder, who wore these buttons? Were they on his church shirt? Was he a farmer? Did he have this shirt on when he was out there milking the cows, feeding the chickens, collecting the eggs, milking the ducks? Oh, you can't milk a duck, but yeah, it makes you wonder where these buttons have been. Or maybe they were on a little kid's clothes, or maybe they were on a girl's blouse. And you wonder, was it on a girl's blouse and she was going out on her first date, and just the blouse was just so beautiful, and then so you've heard the phrase, if these walls could talk, and what would they say, about a house? Oops, I got two buttons there. That needle won't go through. And the same thing you can say for buttons. If these buttons could talk, like this one's real little. Well, my needle won't go through that one either. I'm thinking I gotta. Oh, it'll go through this one. And if these buttons could talk, even, because there are so many stories. There are so many stories that have went along, crossed the veil, along with our ancestors. And, some of these buttons may have traveled to other countries. And because they're old, these are old buttons. They've been around a while. I love the buttons. I just love the buttons. And yeah, this is good. This is good. This is fun too. And if you're now, a lot of times I'll sit right here in this chair under my desk right here, under my table. I have a thing, it's called a leg exercise. And it's just a little electric machine with two places you put your feet. And it moves them. And it's good for circulation because I have circulation issues going on in my legs. And I can tell the difference when I have my legs moving and grooving You can put a blue button here. And this little exercise thing works really good. But I can be doing this right here, my legs exercising on that machine, and my computer is right there in front of me. I can put in a movie, or put in, I can find something on YouTube to watch, like, and they have movies, they've got learning videos. Lately, I want to learn everything. I want to know a little bit about everything. And I've been learning about angels and guides. I think I already mentioned that. There's this one girl, Suzanne Geisman, I think is her name. And I've been watching her. Very interesting, you know? And very interesting how and I've been learning a lot about meditation and loving yourself and these kind of things. And it's amazing what you can learn. And there's some things that I watch that maybe 20 years ago I would have said, "Oh, I'm not going to watch that. That wouldn't be good for me to watch." Well, now I'm watching this kind of thing because I don't have that many more years that I can learn stuff. I don't have that many more years to learn stuff. So I want to learn a little bit of everything. And so I'm even looking at Wiccan. Wiccan is like a Wiccan is like, yeah, I don't guess it's a religion. I'm not exactly sure how that goes. But I've been very interested in stuff like that. Like I've been learning about Wiccan beliefs and and that's what I want to know. I want to know all the whys. Why do you believe the way you believe? And it's good to learn all these different things. I have listened to a lot of videos that have to do with Buddhism, and I want to understand. I just want to learn the why, not because I want to get into any kind of a different something. I just want to know these things. And 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 so and it's fun. It's fun to learn. It's amazing to learn all the whys. Why do you believe this, or why do you do this? You know, it is just good. And it doesn't mean that you even have to agree. Oh, I've Mormon, the more, at one time all I knew about Mormons was the Mormon Tabernacle Choir that I will always look forward to at Christmas time to hear their concerts or their music. And so, and well, I went looking more into Mormons, and oh my gosh, what a wide umbrella of beliefs that Mormons have. And so, and and then, like I say, I want to know the whys. Why do you believe these things? Why? And so I research, and you can research so many things now on the internet. We have got every bit of information. In Catholicism, I've been studying because I was raised up until age 14. No, I was raised Catholic. Well, I was raised half Catholic because my mom was Catholic, my dad was Apostolic Lutheran, and so I sometimes went to church with my dad and grandma to the Apostolic Lutheran, but then I would go with my mom when she went to church at the Catholic church. So we were kind of a real mixed couple, family, as far as religion goes, and brand names of religions. And and so I was, everything was pretty much stereotyped, I guess. And and so then you just kind of, it didn't start happening till really recently in the last few years that I want to know more. I just want to know why, why, what brings different religions to have different doctrines or dif- different beliefs. What brings that about? And I want to learn it. Doesn't mean I want to be it. I just want to know. And so when I say, like, I'm studying, I even looked up Wiccan. Doesn't mean I want to be Wiccan. But you know, when I have read some of the things about Wiccan, I thought, these are kind people. These aren't what I thought about even witchcraft. You know, I'd think, oh, that's witchcraft. I got to stay away from that. Well, it doesn't hurt to learn about different witchery. They use the word witchery. And it doesn't hurt to know about that. You don't have to. And then there's, even in the witchery thing, there is pretty much what I've gathered is positive thinking or negative thinking, even in the in the witchery, in the Wiccan witchery, witchcraft. And when you read that stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just, you know, and then again, it doesn't mean that you read it because you want to be it. You just want to learn so many things. But one thing that I'm very interested though in my learnings is about meditation and clearing your mind and loving yourself and it seems like, you know, Louise Hay is one of my favorites to listen to. And Louise Hay, man, that girl, she's passed away now. August was like 3 years ago she passed away. And but my goodness, what I have learned from listening to her seminars and things. And there's religion in it. I mean, it's about Christianity, it's about God, it's about, you know, but mainly loving yourself first so that you can love and be good for others. And I find that to be so, it's such a valuable lesson, you know, so valuable. And and you know, oh, what I started saying about Papa, you know, it's the worry about the, like, when you worry about, okay, now he's got to go under the knife, and then you stop your thought right then, under the knife, okay, and that can be pretty sad because he's got to go under the knife. But then you think, like, already just being at the doctor's office, and they said that he has to stop the nicotine because the surgeon won't take care of this if he's got nicotine in his system. And like, even the doctor we talked to, he goes, you know, if you can stop now and stay without nicotine until after the surgery, well, then go ahead and start your nicotine up. Well, we don't have no say. And so, but you know what? I don't think he will. So, you know, every cloud has got a silver lining. You know, people have said that everything bad has some good if you look far enough. My thread just come out of my needle. Why did it do that? And that is so true, because here he's got to go under the knife. Okay, if we stop right there, that's sad. But to be able to go under the knife, he's got to stop the habit of the nicotine. Well, he made that choice. Nobody said you've got to stop. He had to make the choice himself. And he said he'd rather do without the nicotine and get rid of this pain in his knee, because his pain is so bad. He's putting aspirin with lidocaine on it probably every 30 minutes. That's how bad his knee is. And he can't sit now with his leg. He's got to sit with his leg out in a recliner chair. He can't sit for more than maybe 5 minutes in the dining room chair to eat dinner. But we've got him a little board that he can put across the arms of his recliner chair so that he has like a little desk there. And I'm going to just get another piece of thread here, tie this one off. I'm not going to fuss with putting it through the needle to get just a couple more buttons on. So, of the going under the knife, one good thing, he's going to stop the nicotine. And he's always wanting to come smooch on me. He's always come, give me a little smooch, he says. Well, up until Wednesday, his smooches were always like a little bit kind of like ew because of the nicotine, this, not snuff, but the chewing tobacco. Now, his little smooches are like spearmint gum. That's better. So, see, there's a good thing. He's not going to be chewing tobacco. Spearmint gum makes his little smooches better. And then also, I am just so happy that he's going to be without pain because he is in so much pain. So, look at those things. And then he's not going to have that great big old football shaped knee anymore. He's going to have that real sexy leg now. And like they said, both of his knees really need to be replaced, but they're going to do this bad one right now. That's the one where we're going to just focus on the bad one right now. And then I'll get to go with him, and so I'll be sitting in the waiting room somewhere there with my goodie bag of craft supplies to keep myself busy. And because I just love people watching, I'll have a lot of people to watch. It's amazing how you can just watch people and decide. You can judge them if you want to in your head. You can say, oh, that's a grouchy one right there. I bet that one's happy all the time. Then there's some that are just so pleasing, so pleasing. We talked to one gentleman at the doctor's office the other day in the waiting room, and he was waiting for his wife to come out. And he says, I bet you don't know how old I am. I said, I would guess that you are 48. And he says, I am 88 years old. I said, oh my goodness, why then you have been. I said, well, your wife has been feeding you correctly because you are looking good for 88 years old. And then he said, yeah, and she's taking me out to dinner. We're going out to dinner now because her appointment is done, so we're going out to dinner. And he says, she don't take me out very often, so this is great. And yeah, and he was just so funny. He was just great. And and then he said, sometimes she gets a little bossy, but I gotta keep her around because she's got the checkbook. I thought that was just hysterical. She's got the checkbook, so he's got to keep her around. I said, well, you must have given it to her. He goes, oh yeah, I gave it to her. And so, and I thought, what a nice man. I could have talked to that man for hours. And then there was one man, that we sat in the waiting room for a while, so there's a lot of people watching to do. One man that was waiting there, he had a bad knee too, you could tell because he had a brace on his knee. And we was at an orthopedic doctor. And so the girl that comes and calls his name, Ralph or whatever it was, and when he gets up to her to go through the door, she says, how are you today? And he grunted. And I thought, somebody did something to his Wheaties this morning. And I thought, don't be just grunt. Why grunt? No, don't grunt at that lady. It was getting toward the end of the day. Our appointment was at 4 o'clock, and we were kind of late even getting in. And that guy just grunted at her, and I just wanted to go kick him. Well, I didn't really want to go kick him, but I just said that just now for some crazy reason. But yeah, so there was one 88-year-old man that I would have wanted to live next door. And then there was that grumpy one. I wouldn't want him to live next door. He was grumpy. Maybe his knee just hurt, but just because something hurts, that doesn't mean you have to be grumpy. Don't be grumpy. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. What was that? Who was that made that phrase all popular? Don't worry, Be happy. I think that was on, it was on a show. Somebody put it in the, who was that guy? Don't worry, be happy. And so, and that is just right. Just don't worry, be happy. And so yeah, you know, so we try to, what you try to do is be kind to somebody for a minute or second. You know, open the door for somebody at the restaurant, or hold the door for somebody that's leaving the grocery store, and say good morning to somebody, especially if they're not smiling. They'll probably say good morning back to you, especially if it's in the afternoon. They'll probably think you're crazy, but give somebody, give give yourself a reason to smile, and giving yourself a reason to smile is giving somebody else a reason to smile. And now, because most people um, have a mask on when you see them, it's kind of sad too, because I've noticed the ones without the masks are usually grumpy. They're not smiling. Why are they not smiling? And so, so that's why you have to say, hello, how's your day? Something. Just say, greetings, anything. And you know that word will make them smile even underneath that mask. And so, and usually you can look at them smiling under the mask, and you can see the smile in their eyes. So, boy, do I, you know, I do run my mouth a lot. I am just a gift of gab. I just love to talk. My poor hubster sometimes, I think he gets tired of hearing me sometimes, but he doesn't complain. He doesn't complain, because I'll go on a rant, and I'll just, not on a rant like a unhappy rant, like a happy rant. I get on happy rants. And especially when I'm learning something, I go in there and I'll watch a video, and it doesn't matter what it is, something that I'm learning. And then I go in there into my lazy chair with Papa, and I'll say, oh, do you want to hear about what I just watched? And of course he says, yep, and ouch. And so he does. He listens to what I have just watched. Dang it. I just poked myself in the finger. I gotta be careful with sharp objects. I just poked myself right there. Okay, it's not bleeding anymore. I usually keep band-aids right here before. Dang it. Oh, there. There's my band-aids. I use a lot of band-aids. The other day I was snipping fabric to go in my, because I keep all my larger scraps, and I'll cut them into smaller scraps and put them in my bin that I keep, uh, my scrunch a bunch scraps, you know, my crumbs, fabric crumbs. And I was cutting, and doggone, I was holding my fabric somehow like this, and I was cutting, and I don't know how the heck I was holding, but I cut. If you can see it right there, you can see it's like a little nip. It's like a V-shaped where, oh my God, that bled like the dickens. It took me I gotta put another band-aid on here because it's not wanting to stick, so I gotta make sure I have sticky all the way around. And put me another band-aid on there so it goes all the way around, because just have to have a little pressure on there for just a little while. Let's see, it doesn't, see, one band-aid doesn't go completely around my finger because I got them farmer hands, you know. There we go. Now I'm doctored up. But now, was I finished with that? Oh, then I just have to do this. But yeah, I have to keep band-aids close at hand. Put my needle up there on that magnet. And now, I have my buttons. Let me put the rest of these buttons back in my little whoosh tub. Now, see there? Now I have And yes, I am going to change my mind about the flowers here, and I am going to put a heart. I'm going to cut a heart. I don't know what I'm going to cut it out of yet, but I'm going to cut it out and leave it the raw edge. Maybe I'll cut it out with pinking shears, and then I'm going to cover the whole entire heart with buttons. And so, yes, and then that will match around here. Then up here, I'm going to just make tabs up here, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll put 5 tabs, about an inch, you know. Then I can take a dowel rod into those tabs, and I've got like wooden dowel rods that I can take, and I can wrap them first in fabric, and then I can wrap them in like fibers, and maybe even put beads on them and have them, although I'll have the um the tabs, I'm going to have them in a plain color and they'll all be the same. Then they won't take away from the rod that I'm going to put across here, and then I'm going to use some fiber to go up for a string. I might do that, or I might use a twisted wire for the hanger then. So there'll be a rod across here and then up here like for a hanger. As far as I know, I may change that, but I don't want to cover. I want to leave this outside like it is because it's so beautiful. And the fabrics, excuse me, the fabrics that are in this to begin with are so beautiful. A lot of it looks like sari silks. And I didn't make this. This was sent to me in Happy Mail. And Happy Mail for me is like, I'm over the cloud with it. Some people have said, you've got so much stuff, you should tell people to stop sending you Happy Mail. Well, I can't do that. Because when I get Happy Mail, it is definitely fits the description, because this stuff makes me happy. When it is something like this, I want to use it. And I might not use it up right away. I was just looking for something else I have. Oh, this is another something that was sent to me. This also, look, it says, Lizzie, okay, let me get this all together. And you're slow stitching in Papa. Okay, this also was sent to me by Carmen. Oh, well, oh, I am losing my mind. Lizzie, we love you and your slow stitching and Papa. This is also going to go on. I'm going to put a background. This is going to be a wall hanging. It's been a while since Carmen sent me this. And it's been waiting to be used. And I'm going to be putting this, I think what I'll do is I'll probably take a piece of upholstery fabric, and that will be something that will hold this whole thing like this. And maybe I'll do the same thing around as I did here. I might do that. But look at this. There's painting. This is painted on. This is stitched. These letters are stitched, a piece of fabric, and then cut around. Then there is like, oh, what would you call this stuff she wrote on here with is, oh, this is all beads. Oh, this partly beads and partly like stickles. So pretty, so beautiful. So there's stickles in there. This is all stickles, I think, here. This is painted in with glitter. This is a ribbon rose here and ribbon rose buds. And look at this. This is like a stickles also, but it is very iridescent. It is very beautiful. And this whole piece, the back, is all, it looks black on the screen I'm seeing, but it's actually like a wine color or dark burgundy. And so that is very, very pretty. And so this, I think I want to work on that next, is to start, because this will be finished. I've got another piece that I'm working, that's another wall hanging, but I decided I want to get my wall, I'm going to just cover up my walls. If there's a spot on my walls that's not covered, I'm going to be covering it. I'm going to be covering it. So that's what I just wanted. Buttons. So I don't know what I'm going to call this video except um, use your buttons. Use your buttons. I love this. I think this is beautiful. And with those buttons on there, it is even more beautiful. So I'm going to lay that over here. I got to show you something. I've never, on my loom, I made a mitten. And I thought, well, that turned out pretty good for a mitten. I got foam on it and everything. I got to wait for it to snow so I can use these mittens. But, and then I thought, well, I've got one mitten, I need to make another. So I made another, but this one here, I got the thumb bent over because for some reason I thought I needed to make 18 rows on the thumb, but I was only supposed to make 12. So the thumb was longer than the mitten. So I flipped the thumb over and I flipped it over and just stitched. See, here's where I flipped it over. It's real thick right there. But you know, I'm gonna wear these mittens because sometimes, you know, in the wintertime, me and Papa, we go outside and we have a campfire and we sit. Some of my hands get real cold, and so when we're sitting out there, and I stuff them inside my pockets, but it's still cold. But now I got mittens. I've never made anything with thumbs in it or anything like that. I make square things and round things, but never shape things. And so see there? How beautiful. Now see, this here thumb is more, was supposed to be what that one was supposed to be too. But that's okay. I'm going to wear them like this with this flopped over thumb. I'll probably make another pair so Papa has a pair to wear too. But see that? And they're not exactly matching. This one, for some reason, is shorter than this one. But they're a pair. They're a matching set. Matching set. But anyway, I did them. I just had to show you them. All right, now. Oh, and I want to show you other thing. I bought this. I love this. Have you all seen these? For any of you who use yarn, I just finished a hat using these two yarns. They because on my loom, when I use my loom, oh, thank you, Papa. That goes in the bathroom.
Bathroom.
Yeah, if you could take them out of the box, that would be beautiful. Okay, yeah, those are my bathroom items I ordered from Walmart. I'm so glad I can order stuff from Walmart. I don't have to send kids after things. And so I ordered something I desperately need, and there it comes the next day. Okay, but when I use the finer yarn on my hats, I always use two skeins, and I work them together. These gloves have two skeins. This is made with, all of it is two skeins. But having the having your yarn on these spindles, it is beautiful. And so a lot of my yarn is in balls, and those, I want to get some of them yarn bowls that's got like a little curve in them. I haven't got them because I thought these I'll use more often. And since I'm making so many hats, but see, it's just a spindle. You put it on there, and then you put it on here. I got that at Amazon. Amazon, and I love these. What a difference this makes when if you're a if you're a knitter or crocheter, you use yarn. It just unwinds from the outside of the outside of the Okay, here I'm running my mouth and having a show and tell, but I'm going to read something from a book that I love. You are stronger than you know. Words of hope and encouragement for someone living with a chronic illness. This book comes from Blue Mountain Arts, and it doesn't actually have an author because it's got many authors within. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one here, I like to just open it up and see what I need to read today. Sometimes I open it up and read something today, and it might be the same thing I read yesterday, but it's something I need to read. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, count to 10, and imagine better days. Imagine your life without so many problems. Picture reaching that point of absolute peace. Erase all your thoughts. Empty your mind completely. Take a deep breath and know nothing is as bad as it seems. Don't let your current situation trick you into believing that it will be this way forever. As surely as the sun rises, you will have a new day. You just have to be patient and focus, not on what you see, but what you will soon see. Believe that better times will arrive. Believe that you will overcome what seemed at first to be insurmountable. Just take a deep breath. And that was written by Jessica Luckett. Jessica, that is a nice name. I like that. And so, you okay, Bubba? Yeah, throw that box in room B because no boxes are going to leave this house empty. I'm going to. That's my destashing program. If a box comes into the house, it will leave the house with destashed items. Okay, now, let's see, oh, I think this is the one. Is this the one? Yes. Self-love. We've been talking about self-love and journaling about self-love. I didn't put this one back into my box, so, but I have the self-love deck. We're talking about self-love. We want to learn about loving ourselves so that we can love others. Okay, this is a good one. Well, actually, so many of these are good ones. And so I have my cards that I keep in this. This is my journal sleeping bag, if you're new. I have got quite a few journal sleeping bags because I've got quite a few journals like this. And I like to write in just a plain ordinary journal. I have made so many scrap journals, junk journals, different kind of journals, but I find it hard to write in them. The things I like to write in my handmade artsy journals are things like quotes. That's what, but my actual journaling, I like to just use just a plain ordinary journal like this. I put just one of these cards on the front and a couple stickers and stuff. And in the one pocket, I keep some stickers or things that I might want to use. And in this, then there's a little pen pocket there. So make yourself, and this gives you a fancy cover for your journal, even though your journal is a plain journal. Okay, now this, here it says, now these are love yourself cards. These are teaching you to love yourself. What's hard to do, but you're going to do it anyway to reach your goals? And so I'm going to put that one here. I'm going to write what's hard to do, but you're going to do it anyway. to reach your goals. Now, so you may have to give yourself a little bit of time to think about maybe what you want to write. And let's see, what do I have here? Oh, I like that. And see here, I've got what I do. Oh, no, these aren't stickers. These are like bookmarks. These are like bookmarks. Okay, so I can't stick that on there. So I'm just going to... My favorite memory from childhood is not having to pay bills. I'm just going to put a sticker of this cross on this page. That'll be good. I like to have a sticker on my page. That's good. Okay. You know what I need to do, though, is pop out one of these bookmark things. These were sent to me by Debbie. These are nice. And I just put them in here. I keep just a collection of some stickers and things that I can, mostly just little stickers, that I can put in my, in my journal, because I don't want this journal to get real thick, of course, and so just a sticker won't make it real thick. This one says, Mornings with Jesus. Come to me, all you are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28 from the New International Version. That's nice. So now I got 2 bookmarks to keep here. Oh, Diana Pickhart sent me this little card. I like that. Okay, and see, there I am. I can put this back in its sleeping bag, and then before nightfall, I'm going to answer that question. And what's hard to do, but you're going to do it anyway to reach your goals. And your goal is to love yourself. And so here I've been over an hour. Look at that. Jiminy Christmas. Somebody's calling me. I don't know who that is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask God to watch over you. Every step you take, every move you make. And I will ask Him to keep you safe and happy and healthy and well-fed. I always put in that well-fed thing. And stay happy. Just stay happy. And God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching this all the way through. Thank you so much. God bless.